So we're currently in the room that was supposed to be the dairy, and now it's more of an all-purpose room, and I'm currently using it to hang meat. It's time to cut them down and turn them into food. I was supposed to make a video on the harvest. We had minus 16 degrees Celsius, so this is all I got. It went well, but if I would get them in the spring instead of in the middle of the summer, we could do this much earlier, and that would be nice. So we scalded the skin and scraped the hair off with a sharp knife. That's what the barrel was for. We had hot water in there, and we poured it over and scraped it off. Seems like we didn't do too good of a job with it. It's a lot of hairs left, but he left me with this burner, so I'm gonna try and burn the rest of them off. I don't have the facilities to hang meat, but we used a 2x4 between these metal posts, which we secured with some straps. And the hooks are just some bent rebar. So I got these knives from Victorinox. That's a brand I've heard of, and also that's the only knives they had in the store. I also have this new workbench that we're gonna use. So this is my first time cutting down a pig. There's several ways to do it, depending on what kind of cuts of meat you want. And I had my friend Arman over to start with his pig so that I could watch him and hopefully learn something. Ja.
Og ta kanskje like beinet ut og efter.
Okay.
Du starter med å ta bojen.
I had two pigs here this season, and it was a collaboration between him and myself, and he had Earl and Hank was mine. He claims he's not an expert, but he definitely done it before, and I took notes and tried to follow along as well as possible. It's one thing to have someone to show you. It's a totally different matter to stand there all by yourself, knife in hand. So I've now watched my friend do it and forgotten all about it. I also have YouTube on hand. I watch a show called Bearded Butchers, and they've taken apart a pig a couple of times. Even if I do a mistake, it's still meat and food, so I can eat it, even though it's not the cut that everyone knows and, and is used to. I'll save all the extra meat and fat and turn that into sausage. So now I'm gonna start. So now I'm gonna start this and try to make a cut and see if we can make some food. I dove in there and immediately felt that my ham was much smaller than it was supposed to be.
Pork ham that can be cured and smoked. So once we get that done.
And when I took out what I thought was the tenderloin, but turned out to be something completely different, and then I found the tenderloin, I started doubting what I was doing. This time-lapse is shot over 20 minutes, and as you can see, there's not much cutting going on. Feels I'm molesting this pig. And I also learned that I used that word wrong, and as eager as I was to do this by myself, I also wanted it to work, so I contacted my friend again, and this time we did it together. Ja, den er litt større den enn min.
Ja, det gjør ingenting.
Next year I need a couple of more pigs. There's a lot of products you make from the same cut. As for instance, bacon and ribbe, which is a Norwegian dish traditionally served at Christmas. I chose bacon, and if I have at least 2 pigs next year, I'll have more diversity on what I can make from them. And to watch someone cut down a pig or watch videos about it is not the same thing as doing it yourself. So to actually learn it, I just need more pigs. So when you have this amount, everything takes a lot of time, and we're dealing with meat, so you want to do it fast and put it in the freezer. And I made the mistake of making the cuts way too big, thinking parties instead of weekdays. But I quickly realized that I had to make them into smaller cuts for the everyday dinner, and that takes even longer. I bought a vacuum machine and got everything into sealed bags before freezing. I realized after a while that the machine's seal time is automatically set to 3 seconds after turning it back on, and that's a bit short, so air was leaking in the bags. So I had to do half of it over again, spending a lot of bags. Next year I'll try and buy bags in bulk. These rolls were 200 kroner for 10 meter at my local Felleskjøpet, and I ended up spending about 800 kroners in bags. What I hadn't thought of is that everything you want to make from the meat, that process starts the minute you start cutting, and I wasn't prepared for that at all. The ham and bacon needs curing, you need salt and herbs and spices and twine and stuff to store it in. There's a lot of stuff going on at the same time, and to save me some time, I decided to freeze it all. So when it's time to make sausage, I'll thaw the sausage meat and focus on that. Same with the bacon. I also see there's curing salt, nitrate debate going on, and I need to dive a little deeper into that. Seems like you have to choose between cancer and having the right taste and color on the bacon. And yeah. Next year I've done everything once and know a little more what to do, so I can prepare and have everything ready for when I'm starting to cut down the meat. But now I have about 100 kilos of pork meat in the freezer, and I can't wait to start making stuff from it. Arman has a smoker house, so we're gonna try and smoke some of it. We also took 1 ham each, and we're gonna salt it and hang it. He wanted it to hang for 2 years. I'm not sure that I can wait that long, but we'll see. I learned a thing or two about keeping pigs as well. Hank and Earl will definitely be missed. Hopefully they had a good life here. Next year I'll do a couple of things differently, and I can't wait to get started, so hopefully spring will be here soon. In the meantime, I have some pork to make and eat, so thank you for watching. See you next time. Toodaloo!